YouTube is a wild and weird, uncharted territory filled with people doing whatever they can to maintain their social clout and get views and clicks. But did you know there are a shockingly large number of families who exploit their lives and their children just for subscribers? I'm going into some of the most insane things these parents did just for views. Stick around. What's up, everyone? It's Devin Howard. Click subscribe right now to always stay up to date on the latest drama and tap the notification bell so you are the first to know when news breaks. YouTubers thrive off of seeing the number of views on their videos go up and up and up, which is why so many of them get into unsafe, outrageous circumstances. Jake and Logan Paul. Some content creators keep their desperation for views on the mild side, just a clickbaity title here and there, and others really take it way too far. I'm getting into the YouTube families that let fame get the best of them, causing them to do insane, inappropriate, and downright cruel things just to get more eyes on their videos. Let's get into it, starting with the infamous Daddy05. This vlogging family had a multitude of problems with their content over the years, mainly because they took their pranks way too far, leaving their 5 children in tears. The parents were known to torment and sometimes physically abuse their kids just for shock value. In one particularly upsetting video, they drew on their son's carpet and blamed it on him, swearing at him and screaming at him until he was in tears.
The hell is that?
What is this?
Cody!
Tell me! I didn't do that! You tell me what you did! I swear to God I didn't do that!
Because the videos were so controversial, they lost their channels several times for violating community guidelines. Then, in 2017, the parents were slapped with child neglect charges and sentenced to 5 years probation. 2 of the couple's children live with their biological mother now, but they still have custody of the 3 others. Prosecutors argued that the intense pranks caused the children to suffer emotional damage. CPS found that the children had experienced, quote, observable, identifiable, and substantial impairments of their mental or psychological ability to function. This past summer, YouTube fully deleted the remaining 2 Family05 YouTube channels, and since then, they've been offline. Hopefully, some counseling and therapy can get these children back on track, and you know what? The parents should get some help too. Another parent who could use some serious psychological evaluations is Greg Chisholm, the man behind the Toy Freaks channel. The single dad amassed a following of 8 million subscribers before seeing his account terminated after complaints of child abuse made its way around the internet. He would film his daughters while they were bathing and would drop live animals in the tub with them, sending his youngest daughter into a panic. Also, not to mention how scary for the poor creatures involved. It's not funny and it's not good content. He'd also make his kids dress up like babies and engage in baby behavior like eating baby food, spitting up, and wetting themselves, all deeply bizarre antics for a dad to encourage his daughters to partake in. He was criminally investigated but not charged and ultimately had his YouTube channels deleted. Just a note, if you're a parent who also wants to be a YouTuber, make yourself interesting enough to sustain the channel and don't involve your kids.
Am I right?
In their vlogs, the LeBrant family looks picture perfect. Their social media presence, which reaches millions, paints them as the happy-go-lucky traditional family. You know, kind of like the completely unattainable image you see in catalog magazines. Well, turns out they're not so picture perfect. In fact, they're kind of desperate for views and likes. Last year, California was ravaged by wildfires that burned so many homes and beloved places. People and pets were killed, lives were destroyed. The whole thing was incredibly tragic, especially for the victims. It was all over the news. People were non-stop talking about it. And instead of feeling sympathetic towards the victims, the LeBrant saw an opportunity to gain clicks, views, subs, and money. So they posted a video titled, "We left our house because of fires in California," with this questionable thumbnail, which was later changed. Cole is the one who alerted all the viewers that their home was at risk of being engulfed in flames.
So this is our roof, and there's a fire, so pretty close.
I'm just doing this just in case if we do have to evacuate or our home gets burned down, we have it.
They then packed up all their belongings and embarked on what they called an adventure.
I'm going far, far away.
We're going away from the fire so you don't have to be scared anymore. Yeah.
It turns out the family's emergency evacuation was just a trip to San Francisco, which a lot of viewers think was totally planned, and the addition of that whole evacuation warning was just to make their video more dramatic. Cole and Savannah officially became an item on a trip to San Francisco, and they were evacuated on their 2-year anniversary, so the whole thing was too coincidental. It also didn't help that the neighbors of the LeBrants spoke out and said that the fires were miles away and their neighborhood never received an evacuation notice. A Twitter user posted this picture to show how far away the fires were. The blue circle is where Sav and Cole live, and the fire stickers are where the flames were spreading, super far away. The comments on the YouTube video have since been disabled, but it just goes to show how desperate people are to get the views that they'd actually pretend to be victims of a devastating fire to get them. A YouTube couple pranked their fans saying they were about to grow their family and then covered it up by saying something really insensitive. I'm talking about Sam and Nia. So here's what happened. Sam's wife Nia texted him saying her period was 2 weeks late, so instead of buying her a pregnancy test to take herself, he took her urine from the toilet and tested it in secret so that he could surprise her with the results. When the test came back positive, he revealed the pregnancy to her while the family was having breakfast. See her reaction.
What did you do? Did you get a dropper out of the toilet? No, you didn't.
I did.
No way! Are you serious right now? No way! Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Are you 100% serious?
Well, yeah.
She's clearly very excited, but doctors have their doubts about the legitimacy of these test results, mostly because the water in the toilet bowl would have diluted the urine, and if there were any chemical cleaning agents present, it would have altered the results. Realizing that faking a pregnancy that doesn't exist would be obvious in the next few months, they did damage control, and a week after announcing their bundle of joy, said that Nia had miscarried. The couple never went to a doctor to confirm the pregnancy or the miscarriage, causing people to be suspicious. And it didn't help that the next day after the miscarriage, they posted another vlog looking happy without a care in the world. Sure, people deal with grief in different ways, but viewers thought it seemed unrealistic. But that's not the only scandal this YouTube family has dealt with. Viewers also found out that Sam opened an Ashley Madison account, a website made for spouses who want to cheat. In a video, he addresses the news saying that he did, in fact, create a profile on the website several years prior to the news getting out. He says he talked about it with his wife and his church and has now been cleansed completely of his sins. He also says he never cheated. Right.
I've never met with a single person face to face through that website, and that I never had an affair with anybody ever while I've been married with Nia.
Of course, Sam isn't the only YouTuber to have dabbled in cheating. So did Shay Carl, the main face of the Shaytards. Shay built a following of devoted subscribers because of his vlogs that documented his home life. The appeal of the Shaytards channel was his playful personality and their wholesome, family-friendly content, but all of that was shattered when a webcam model posted screenshots of a graphic text exchange she had with Shay. In the messages, Shay details sexually explicit things he'd like to do to the webcam star. They texted like that for months, but when Arya made a comment about how cute his son was, he shot her down and degraded her. So to get revenge, Arya released the screenshots of their text exchange and has no regrets. Shortly thereafter, Shay posted a tweet saying he was taking a break from social media to seek treatment for his alcoholism. The family vlogs quickly stopped and they remained offline for a year. He posted a vlog on his YouTube channel titled I'm Sorry, and in it he seems distraught.
I hate myself for the pain that I caused my angel of a wife. The embarrassment.
The over-the-top apology video seemed to work, though. The couple returned from their hiatus in the spring of last year with a video where they announced right off the bat that they're not giving up on their marriage, even though Shay basically cheated.
We have a lot to talk about. We are still working on a lot. We are not giving up on our relationship or our marriage or on our family. And it's hard.
Colette received a ton of backlash for staying with her husband, but things seem to be going okay for them now. They're still uploading vlogs and are becoming that happy family they were before. There's no saying what goes on behind closed doors. Hopefully Shay's getting his act together. The Ace family dealt with their own fair share of backlash, but not because of a cheating scandal. YouTube subscribers called out the family after it appeared that Austin sexualized Catherine's baby sister in a very weird way. Eagle-eyed followers of the famous dad dug up a video of Austin taking a toddler who isn't his own into the store's Spencer's. Now, if you've ever been into a Spencer's, it's kind of a weird novelty store. They sell little funny knickknacks, strobe lights, party decorations, adult costumes, and sex toys. It's not exactly the best place for a toddler to be. In the video, you can see the young girl reaching up for a lollipop. Of course, she's too little to realize that the candy was molded into a phallic shape. Instead of telling her he'd buy her a lollipop in a more age-appropriate shape, like, I don't know, a freaking circle, the dude actually purchases it for her, knowing fully well it's completely inappropriate. Watch.
Show Catherine what you have in your hand. Show Catherine. Show her. She said it's a lollipop.
In a later video, he acknowledges that it wasn't a good idea, but apparently the little girl threatened to steal it if he didn't buy it for her.
Guys, I'm in so much trouble. But she said she was gonna steal it if I didn't buy it, so better me buy it.
Or Austin, why don't you let her know that you're her caretaker and you'll get her a lollipop that isn't shaped like a d. This whole incident is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. I think Austin knew he shouldn't give her the candy, but it made for funny content on social media. He didn't care that he was sexualizing a child. He only cared about the likes and views. After people got word of this video, they started calling on YouTube to take action against the family. One Twitter user posted this tweet writing, "Hey YouTube, one of your content creators thinks that sexualizing a little kid is funny. That just adds a whole layer of grossness. Team YouTube, I hope you don't care about money more than children." Even Drama Alert called out the family for the bizarre video. Take a look.
And when I saw this video, it was so disturbing to me. It was so upsetting to me. I have absolutely no idea what the Ace family was thinking by filming this and putting it on Instagram or Snapchat or wherever it was, but it's just gross.
The Ace family never responded to the backlash, and it doesn't seem like YouTube took any action, which kinda sucks, but that doesn't mean they've fallen back into everyone's good graces. The famous family decided to film and release a docuseries about themselves, cue eye roll here, and the whole thing is basically just one big flex of how cool and rich they are. In one of the episodes, they go back to their old apartment to show their humble beginnings. They lived in a 3-story townhouse with massively high ceilings, an in-unit washer dryer, which that alone is a luxury, and the whole thing probably cost them at least $2,000 a month. If you live in California, you might know the complex where they lived. It's called the Avalon, which is literally a luxury apartment, and they have buildings all over Northern and Southern California. Sorry, you two, but you can't really describe your beginnings as humble when you live in a 3-story townhouse with a community pool, gym, and other high-end amenities. Watch a clip from their docuseries.
So, what we were doing, living in a 600 square foot apartment, I mean, that was doing our best. Because we barely got to that point.
Let's be real, that apartment was way more than 600 square feet. The comments of the video are equally as hilarious. Fans of the family called them out for acting like they struggled so much when they lived in a legit nice apartment. A weird flex, but okay. Next, let's get into Tammy Hembrow and her split from Reese Hawkins. The two announced their breakup on social media, stunning fans everywhere because they really looked like the real deal. Shortly after their breakup, Tammy made headlines when she collapsed at Kylie Jenner's birthday party. She posted a YouTube video about it and explained that she was just exhausted and overworked.
So yeah, I pretty much collapsed. Honestly, I'm already like super embarrassed about it.
Since then, things have been relatively quiet with the couple until Reese decided to break his silence about their split in a series of stories. The personal trainer dragged his former fiance, dishing about how she agreed to let him keep the car she bought for him in her company's name, and then she decided to repossess it. He says he agreed to move to America on the condition that he could keep the car, but apparently that fell through. He never wanted to move stateside, so in his version of the story, he did her a big favor.
We would sign the car over to me, and then that I would move to America for her to pursue her career and, you know, whatever musicians that need to be followed around.
He then says that one day she just woke up and decided she didn't feel like sticking to that agreement and repossessed the car. Reese says that he doesn't have as much of an issue with the car itself, but the principle of it all and how Tammy violated their terms.
The car's not the big issue here, it's just the principles, guys. It's just about being fair and doing what's right.
Then Tammy responded in her own IG story, but hers was much less revealing. She said,
basically, in response to
the car thing that he's talking about. That's not the full story. It's not true at all. Like, just don't believe what you see on social media.
Last month, we learned that Tammy was planning on suing her ex-fiance, so let's just say things haven't ended amicably. Finally, to wrap up our countdown of the most controversial YouTube families, let's talk about the kid who is the highest paid YouTuber ever, Ryan from Ryan Toys Review. The 7-year-old kid makes $11 million annually just for reviewing a bunch of toys. His wildly popular YouTube channel boasts 18 million subscribers. This family hasn't necessarily done anything super scandalous, but other parents are criticizing them for promoting bratty behavior and showing off their kids' spoiled lifestyle. There are mommy blogs and Reddit forums dedicated to trashing the YouTube family, claiming it promotes bad behavior in children and doesn't teach them to be grateful for what they already have. In a way, I understand this. This kid gets hundreds of toys sent to him. He's living every child's dream. But also, wouldn't it be silly for the parents not to capitalize on their child's success? He seems to enjoy doing it too. When you watch their videos, they seem just like a normal, goofy family.
Hi guys, today we're gonna do the dry ice boo experiment.
Boo?
I don't think they necessarily deserve all the hate. All right, everyone, fill me in on what you think about these controversial families. Which one is the most scandalous? Is there anyone I missed? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. I'm Devin Howard, everyone. See you next time.